The Bull Wrangler brothers had ruled these lands with an iron fist for nigh on 3 years. But that was before the papaya farmers came to town. What first seemed like a friendly rivalry soon turned into all-out war. The farmers staked their claim and wrestled control from the Wranglers, but their grasp on power was weak. And so they would meet in the dying light of the Texas sun to settle the scores once again. But the road to Texas is at a standstill. So you might as well cool those brakes. Tune in to the relaxing tones of Traffic Paradise Radio. And chill with us for a while. Howdy, y'all, and welcome to Traffic Paradise Radio. I'm Uno, and joining me today are Immy.
Hello.
And Leah.
Hello, all.
Okay, how you guys doing? Are you excited for the race? It's finally race week. Woohoo!
Oh, absolutely. I'm so excited.
Yeah, oh my god. I don't know how I've lived for these, what was it, like the same length as summer break. Like, just God who made this schedule.
I'm excited for it. And also, it's Alex Albon's 100th race, so I'm really hoping he has a good one.
Ooh, yes. I hope so. Better than Singapore, at least, hopefully.
I didn't realize it was Alex's 100th race. That's very cool for him. I'm excited for him. That's awesome. Leah, it is your first time on the main show. You did record an episode of Keeping Track for us, which will be out this week. By the time that this publishes, I think it will be already on our YouTube channel, so people can check it out. It's all about Circuit of the Americas and the history of Formula One in America. But to perhaps give us a little bit of a sneak peek, would you like to introduce us to COTA and Formula One in America?
Absolutely. So, COTA, Circuit of the Americas, is actually on a really large property. So, it's about 1,500 acres, which has a lot of different things on it. So, the track itself is a counterclockwise 3.41 mile long track. It has 20 turns. One of those iconic turns you really think of is turn one that has the 130-foot hill, gives us some of the iconic shots we see with the Texas flag in the background. And then within the track, there's a giant plaza. There's one of the largest outdoor amphitheaters in Texas. And then the 251-foot observation tower and also a karting facility. So there's a lot of things going on there.
Thank you, Leah, for that amazing introduction to Circuit of the Americas. I'm certainly very excited for the race. But before we move on to our predictions, I'd just like to encourage all our listeners that if they are enjoying the video, to please leave a like and think about subscribing. And then you can catch more amazing Formula One content from us in the future. And also to please keep a lookout for that Keeping Track episode that Leah has done so you can learn more about the Circuit of the Americas. Before the first race of this triple header that will take us on a journey through the Americas, we are going to make some predictions. So let's start this off with Leah. Leah, what are your predictions for COTA 2024?
Oh gosh, I wasn't really sure on this one. A lot of teams are bringing in upgrades and stuff, but McLaren said they were specifically bringing an upgrade package. So with how consistent it's been this year, I expect probably Lando Norris to be one, Max second, and then for third, I'm split between Oscar and Lewis because Lewis is really good at COTA. And Mercedes also mentioned that they were bringing in some upgrades as well. So that's my prediction for the podium.
You have to pick one.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because you get points out of it.
I guess I'll do Oscar third.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Leah. Immy, would you like to comment on any of Leah's predictions?
I don't have much to comment, but I'll say that we actually have quite similar predictions. I think I'll jump into mine now, steal the reins a little bit. My prediction for P1, because I sort of forgot that McLaren were also bringing upgrades, is Max. And my reasoning is because Red Bull are bringing upgrades. And now it feels sort of like a moot point now, because if they're both getting better but Red Bull's worse, then nothing's going to change. But I'm sticking with it, just to be a bit different. And my other point of thinking here is that we're finally away from a street track. So for the RB20, that would be like heaven. And so Max was closest out of anybody to Lando in Singapore. So I think he could still be closest. I don't think it'll be like, if there's a chance for Max to win, it might be more like something goes wrong for Lando, but I still think there's an opportunity there. For P2, well, like I said, in that case, I'd go with Lando. The McLaren's fast, he's confident, so he's going to be there, whether that's P1 or P2, who knows, but I'm putting him in P2. And my P3 is Lewis. He's good at COTA, and Mercedes are very, very inconsistent, and they had a bad time last time, so I think they might have a good time this time.
I do agree. I think I could see Lewis as P3, and I definitely encourage, the Max for P1, sticking to your guns. I like that. I do agree with that. I think it's possible that 100% this could be a lot closer than some of the races we've seen this season. So I'm excited. A lot of different teams are bringing upgrades.
Yeah, I hope it's a lot closer than Singapore because that was quite a snooze fest, I can't lie.
Thank you for your predictions. Interesting all round. My predictions for P1, I'm going with Lando Norris. I think he's on a bit of a roll at the moment, and I think the McLaren will still be faster than the Red Bull. Red Bull are coming with new upgrades, and generally that has not worked for them. They tend to need some time to figure it out. So I don't know if they'll be quite as strong as they are hoping to be. So with that in mind, I'm going to put Oscar Piastri as P2. I do think there might be a bit of a switcheroo at some point in the race where Oscar has to give way to Lando, maybe after pit stops or something. I think that might be the case. But yeah, Oscar P2, and then in P3, I've got Max Verstappen. I think that even with Red Bull not performing optimally, I think Max will be able to make up that difference and still get on the podium. So it's a little bit of an orthodox prediction, but I'm playing it safe. And I just also, it kind of ties into my end of year predictions. Plug for that video. It's on YouTube. You can check it out, where we predict who we think is going to win the world championship and other positions within the constructors and drivers championship standings. I think Lando is going to win the whole thing. So I obviously believe he's going to win this as well. So yeah, those are my predictions. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's interesting. That reminds me that we actually haven't seen any sort of team orders yet at McLaren due to like Lando qualifying behind or Oscar qualifying behind. So it will be interesting if we see an instance of that this weekend. You see how they handle it because they haven't been good at handling anything over the radio, really.
Oh yeah, like let's like coax
Coax.
Lando
Okay.
over the course of 15 laps to give the position back. And be like, think about your future, think about the team, think about family.
Think about our Sunday briefings.
Sunday morning.
If Lando Norris loses the world championship by like a couple points, they are going to feel like such idiots.
Dude, you can't though. The Oscar fan in me is bristling at that. They've messed up so many times. It's never just Hungary.
They've just been bad the whole year with strategy,
Yeah.
realistically, until recently, and still it's iffy.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I can see Immy's profile picture is a Oscar Piastri picture, and it's looking at me very strangely right now for my prediction. But yeah, it's just judging me. Okay. Next, we will really test our odds with the wild card prediction. So, Leah, what is your wild card prediction for this weekend?
On track, my wild card prediction is I'm expecting someone in the top 5 of the drivers championship to actually DNF possibly in the sprint.
Ooh. in the sprint. Okay, do you think we'll get a safety car then? I'm like salivating over the
God.
idea.
I think it's possible for a safety car, but also with all of the upgrades teams are bringing in and there's only one practice, I have a feeling that because I think almost every team in that has a driver in the top 5 is bringing upgrades. I have a feeling that there's going to be some sort of mechanical failure or something. So, maybe a pit lane DNF or maybe a safety car.
Please, a safety car. Ah,
Let me see my queen.
please. Yes. God, it's been so long.
Hasn't it been since, like, Canada?
Yes. Like, this is it's God knows how long we've been. It's past 2009 now since we've had a safety car. I miss her. I should have predicted that because at some point that's gonna come true.
Okay, well, Emmy, what is your prediction?
My wild card prediction is that Liam Lawson is gonna go out in sprint qualifying 1 and in first section of qualifying as well. I don't know if I'm trying to jinx him for a good result, if I'm actually hoping for a bad result, but statistically, I think he's never driven here before. It's his first time properly back in an F1 car, and they've got one practice. Realistically, he's not going to be able to go 100% around the circuit unless he wants to bin it in the wall. So I think for him, the smarter choice is to not go 100% and keep the car fully intact and maybe have a bad qualifying than it is to bin it and just look awful.
Interesting, interesting. The Yuki Tsunoda fan within me is excited about that. I'm not gonna lie. The V-Carb fan in me is a little bit disappointed by that. So I'm being torn at the moment
Two wolves
because I
inside
want
you.
Liam to do well. Yeah, yeah. I want Liam to do well because it will mean that the team does well. But yeah, I most importantly want Yuki to beat him. So I'm okay with this prediction.
I can see that. Like, I actually can agree with that. I have a feeling Liam wants to, one, prove that he can do well, but also he doesn't want to put himself in a position where he can risk anything. He doesn't want to kind of be like the measurement of, oh, he's another driver that has failed. So I think being cautious on the first race at a track you don't know is a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, if he qualifies like 20th, he has excuses. It's his first race back. He's never raced it before. He had one practice. If he bins it in the wall, he doesn't have excuses. So, well, I guess he could use those excuses, but it wouldn't look as good.
Yeah. I think the most interesting driver pairing dynamic over the next 6 races is definitely in that V
Oh,
carb
for sure.
because the situation with Oscar and Lando has kind of been resolved in as much as they're going to start implementing team orders. So that contention between them is not really going to be coming to the fore, and the other teams are all kind of fine. But that one, they're playing for big stakes now. Helmut Marker the other day even said, yeah, they are both in contention for that Red Bull seat. And whoever comes out on top will be that much closer to getting into the Red Bull. Obviously, that all depends on what Sergio Perez does for the rest of the season. So that bit of it is out of their hands. But Yuki and Liam are both basically fighting for a chance to drive a race winning car. And that's exciting. So I'm definitely keen to see how that pans out over the season. For my wildcard prediction, I'm going a bit off track and a bit outside the sphere of Formula One. My prediction is that a presidential candidate from the United States will make an appearance at COTA this weekend. So that's either Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. I might add into my prediction that one of their VP candidates might make it there. But in that case, I'll get half a point because they're half
You
as
know what?
important.
What was it? JD Vance went to a NASCAR race, I think, with and Danica Patrick was talking to him on a talk show. Ugh.
Oh, did she speak about the lizard people?
I never watch any of that stuff, but she's like, JD Vance told me that he would go to a NASCAR race and then he went. And I'm like, oh, great, good for you.
Ugh.
Yeah, so anyway, that's my prediction after what we saw at Miami. I figure that it's likely that with the election just around the corner, they're going to try their best to make an appearance.
Kamala Harris said she was an F1 fan.
Yes, this
Yes.
is
She's
Yes.
a Lewis fan.
Yes.
yeah. So
Yes.
that came out this weekend on Howard Stern's show. So or this week on the Howard Stern show. So I think that sort of cemented because I'd been toying with the idea of making this my prediction, but when I heard that, I was like, it's an election. She needs the publicity and she needs that like soft, easy publicity, not like a hard hitting interview, but just that like being seen doing something cool. So I can very easily see her making a visit to the Mercedes garage. And I can also equally see Trump going, "Oh, last time I was the secret ingredient to getting Lando his first win. I'm going to make an appearance at the McLaren garage again." So I can very easily see either of them or even both of them making an appearance. So that is my prediction. Leah, what do you think? As the American in the Traffic Paradise radio crew, what do you think about that?
I do see it happening with, November coming up with the election. I feel like Vegas would be too close to the election for them to really be able to do anything with it. So if there was another race for them to do it, it would definitely be in Texas. And with I won't get into the politics of it really, but with all of the politics we have surrounding stuff like that, Texas is the best place to go for it, really. So I can't see that happening. As long as I don't have to hear about another assassination attempt during some sort of IndyCar race,
Oh my god.
I'm happy.
Oh gosh, I didn't even think of that. Oh no.
It's happened 2 times. 2 times my IndyCar race has been interrupted by an assassination attempt.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
crazy. Luckily, I've got F1 TV, so I won't have to worry. Although they'd probably have to evacuate the whole place, hey, and like have like a full crackdown. Oh,
People weren't assassinated at IndyCar.
oh no! But the thing is, if Trump is there,
Oh god, right, okay.
then like they'd
Yeah,
have to lock down
that's
the
what I
whole
was getting to.
place. Yeah, yeah,
That makes me think he won't go because, that's like, how would security do that? How do you vet that many people?
You have metal detectors at the gates. That's usually what they do, and clear bags.
Of course they'd have metal detectors.
yeah. It's Texas, so they're allowed to carry guns there. So I would imagine that they're quite careful with doing the letting people into places like that because they know that everyone there has weapons, so they have to have quite a good security system to make sure that people aren't bringing guns and stuff into the grandstands or whatever. Just for the sake of decency, let's hope there are zero assassination attempts, but also for the sake of our viewing pleasure and experience. So little bit of a selfish hope there from me, but also just don't shoot people, guys. That's not great. There are better ways of dealing with your problems. Okay, so do we have any other predictions for the weekend? Not for points, but just something you think is going to happen.
I have a feeling Nico Hulkenberg is going to take P10 in the Drivers' Championship officially and actually score more points than Lance. So that's my prediction. But also, I predict a Yuki fastest lap. I want to see that.
Oh, a repeat of 2003. I mean, no, not 2003,
2003?
2023.
2003? I was
2023.
born in 2003.
I was like an atom.
An atom. I was like a very emo teenager listening to Linkin Park and ditching classes. But yeah, that's cool. I'm happy for Yuki fastest lap. Not so happy for Nico Hulkenberg cementing P10 in the championship, but we'll take what we can. Immy, any predictions from you?
Yeah, you know what? I didn't think about it when I was doing mine, but I think we might get a lap one incident again. I don't know if it's sprint or actual race, but I just really want to manifest a safety car, like honestly. So you have to get the lap one incident to be the right amount of carnage, not too much that it's red flagged, but enough for a safety car. Light some candles. I miss her.
I miss her. I think my only other prediction for the weekend is that I think that we'll have an interesting race dynamic between Alex Albon and Franco Colapinto, because they're kind of equally matched in a way in that car. And it will be interesting to see who comes out on top. I think it might just be Franco. So that would be my like prediction, or something I'm looking
Ooh.
forward to watching, is to see what plays out in the Williams garage over the weekend, because I just think that dynamic is very interesting, because one of them definitely has a seat for next year, so he doesn't have to worry, and the other one doesn't have a seat next year, and so he doesn't have to worry, because like chances of him getting one are so slim anyway. He might as well just go out and like make a name for himself. So it's very cool. It's a very interesting dynamic. I'm excited to watch it play out.
The Franco seat conundrum is interesting because it went from being like, he's just here for a good time, to there actually might be a possibility that he gets a seat. So I wonder, depending on how talks with Sauber go, if that will depend on how he races. Like if it's more likely he gets a contract, if he'll tone it down because he thinks, right, well, I don't want to start binning it now. And if he knows it's gone, if he'll keep on seeing like that dive bomb in Singapore, for example, like just crazy moves. It's very entertaining.
No, I'm loving him so far. Like he's just like he's made my year. Like he's so exciting to watch. I'm a big Franco fan at the moment.
Absolutely. I want to see him stay. I love him. I do see the thing of there's so much going on with the seats, and there's obviously stuff that we don't know, and there's uncertainties now. We definitely can kind of predict which drivers will be gone at the end of the year, but trying to figure out who gets that Sauber seat, I think he's a real contender now.
Yeah, I saw something. Mick Schumacher is apparently making an appearance again in talks about that seat. I don't know how legit that is. Perhaps Immy is a. Are we going to continue with our seat discussion in the traffic report?
Did I put Mick in there? I mean, maybe. I need to go down to my news section and have a little look-see.
For those of you who are unfamiliar, Immy hosts an episode or a show on Traffic Paradise Radio called The Traffic Report, which
Woo!
is our weekly dose of F1 news. And the last few weeks have been very seat heavy in terms of news we're discussing, because every week there's new news. So you might just want to tune into that as well in future, so you can catch all your F1 news.
Yes, I mean, as a little sneak peek for that, I guess, it seems it's Mattia who has said that they're evaluating Mick, so it's definitely not like just gossip. But I don't know if it will come to anything. I mean, Sauber have the time to evaluate anybody they want to evaluate.
Yeah, they're in no rush to make a decision. But the fact that Mattia Bonotto has said that bodes well for Mick. All the best for him. Even though I don't want him to have the seat, I want Franco to have it. But, in the sake of fairness, I hope that he gets a fair shot at it, just like anyone else. Okay, so thank you to everyone for your predictions. We will see how they play out next week. And thank you to our listeners for tuning into Traffic Paradise Radio. It looks like the road heading to Texas is finally clear, so enjoy the race. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to follow us if you are listening on Spotify, or like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Have a good rest of your day or night. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Time for us to hit the road.
But okay, Cat, no. Don't bite me.
Oh my god.
No. Okay. No. Go outside. Get out. Go. Get out. Out. Go. Now you want to groom yourself. Come. Out. 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 There. Get out. Go. Bye. Bye. No, now you want to jump back in. Ah. Okay. Sorry. Okay.
Oh my
I'm just
god.
gonna end it now. I'm done.